I trust you're well. I'm good. I'm very late. I'm late. I'm late for a very important date. But then you see, I never had anything to speak about. So then I got inspired by something, and maybe we'll speak about it. Yeah. Not really high. Um, just talking about things that fly. Yeah, or make you fly. I'm I'm quite un not I don't have the knowledge of the difference between THC and CBD oil, if you know what I mean. And so maybe I'm going to ask you a few questions about that. It's it's such a pity that Dot is so anti, um, what do you call it? Dot is so anti AI music. She's sick of it. And then old Linda likes tarot. What did she call it now? Time to fly. Oh, fly high like a Gemini in the next 48 hours. Yeah.
Hungover, I'm gonna be honest. Like when I'm done doing a live the next morning, I just feel like, ugh, I feel drained. I feel tired. Anyways,
Yeah. You feel drained. You feel tired. That's true. So, Ramagurigila, welcome to the show. I'm Lord Dandelion, and this is your nightly morning catch up. What am I doing here? What am I doing? Remember to hit the like button and the thumbs up. And that was just a quickie. I put that flying saucer up there. How you doing, Wheels? It's a bit late, I'm sorry. Did you know that mushrooms affect the rain? I'm thinking I want to go on a mushroom retreat, a shroom retreat. I need a lift up in the category of depression. What time is it there, Wheels? What time is it there? Good evening. So I found this Russian. There's a Russian. And he's explaining how.
Sometimes even fruit. And these bacteria, as you can see, tend to damage the leaves, but they do this in a very unusual and somewhat spectacular way. They actually evolved to produce what's known as INPROs, or ice-nucleating proteins. Very specific proteins that allow water to freeze at much warmer temperatures, usually around -2 degrees Celsius. And in nature, these bacteria only use this ability to cause frost damage to plants, which then ends up breaking open the plant tissue, and the bacteria can then consume the nutritious insides. In other words, they are sort of like parasites that evolve this very strange ability to freeze the leaves in order to break them. But completely accidentally, this particular property also
scientists think
once again surprised everyone. But before we start, in order to understand how all of this works and why this is such an important discovery, let's briefly discuss how rain forms. So let's discuss the mystery of supercooled water. And that's because most rain doesn't actually start as liquid water. It starts as tiny ice particles. And while normally high in the atmosphere, water droplets can actually remain liquid at temperatures far below freezing, even sometimes at the bone-chilling -40 degrees Celsius. This is what researchers often refer to as supercooled water. But for this water to turn into rain or snow, it usually requires some kind of a seed, or basically something to hold on to in order to start forming some kind of a droplet. This concept is actually...
So it's quite amazing. For clouds to form, they need the spores of the mushrooms.
known as CCN or cloud condensation nuclei, or sometimes as ice nucleating particles. So, for example, things like dust and soot. As a matter of fact, this is one of the main reasons why volcanic eruptions are very often followed by rainfall. But while dust, soot, and even sea salt can act as a seed, turns out that they're not particularly good at it, and normally do require extremely cold temperatures in order to work. And this is where this unusual discovery in regards to the biological superpowers comes in. So let's discuss these biological rainmakers. And here let's actually start with this. Pseudomonas syringae. This is actually a bacterium that very often lives on plant leaves or sometimes even fruit. And these bacteria, as you can see, tend to damage the leaves, but they do this in a very unusual and somewhat spectacular way. They actually evolved to produce what's known as INPROs, or ice nucleating proteins. Very specific proteins that allow water to freeze at much warmer temperatures, usually around -2 degrees Celsius. And in nature, these bacteria only use this ability to cause frost damage to plants, which then ends up breaking open the plant
How you doing,
tissue,
Lulu? Good to
and
see
the
you.
bacteria can then consume the nutritious insides. In other words, they're sort of like parasites that evolve this very strange ability to freeze those in order to break them. But completely accidentally, this particular property also seems to produce a very unexpected effect. For example, during very windy conditions, many of these bacteria are swept into the skies and basically travel in the atmosphere. And well, because of these proteins on their surface, they become extremely efficient rain seeds. In other words, they then create rain. And this is what scientists now refer to as bioprecipitation, or specifically bioprecipitation cycle. So here we have these plants hosting these microbes. The microbes are then swept into the clouds. By being inside the clouds, they then trigger the production of droplets, and the rain falls back to the ground, obviously watering the plants, but also helping some of these bacteria to
Wow,
grow
Wheels,
and
happy
propagate to other
birthday.
locations. And so technically this is part of their evolutionary cycle.
When did you start your channel? Wow, today. 19 years old, nearly 20 years old. So 2007, when YouTube started, you started your channel. Incredible. You are. That's why you're a racing car driver, because you are very brave. My birthday is in 3 weeks' time. Lol. It's funny how you must have Mars in your in Leo, because then you start things. When you start something new, then that's when Mars helps you to start it. And I'm supposed to start something new now. Who knows what it is? I suppose these options become fewer and fewer as you get older. The men in my family are the racers. Well, darling. It's almost 4 p.m. here in Australia, says Lulu. Sun is warming, but weather's still cold. The sun is shining. Da, 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 da. Morning. But weather's still cold. Winter will be over in a few weeks' time. That's true. We just got to go through the windy month of August. That's our windy month. It blows all the cold away.
Cycle. But it obviously has a very beneficial effect of producing rain for these plants that might or might not be. Triggering freezing at slightly higher temperatures, fungi can control formation of ice around them, preventing lethal flash freezing of their own delicate cells, which surprisingly also affects a lot of plants around them, and so in some sense these fungi can then also protect the plants and the roots that they usually collaborate with. And so here this protection actually benefits everyone living around them. At the same time, the ability to stimulate rainfall ensures that soil remains moist and provides hydration necessary for the fungi to grow, and once again necessary for all of the plants around them as well. And the thing is, some of the recent studies even argue this idea of bioprecipitation feedback cycle that must have existed on the planet for an extremely long time. Or basically it says that a lot of landscape.
That'd be great. Yes, Lulu, we also have. I didn't know Australia had the winds of August either. Sometimes they come early in what do you call it, in July too, the end of July. But this last week of July has been a little bit colder than usual. You know, here where we are, then it's freezing cold at night, no clouds in the daytime, and then you can actually defrost. You can defrost in the daytime. You can feel the sun on you. It's 21 degrees, 23 degrees. So it's really a beautiful winter in July. And you can survive, especially during tornado season. What? I'll have to show you a photo sometimes, Lionel. 3 generations of races. Wow. I live in the bluffs above a river. It's always windy here. Oh no, I would go mad. Especially during tornado season, I'm sure it would be. So the next high we're going to look at is the next high is LSD.
A gooey mass at the top. This is DNA. Most of it is yours, but some of it actually comes from bacteria
That's
living in
saliva.
your mouth.
Somebody's
At 100
saliva.
times magnification, you'll see these strings, which are coiled up DNA, proteins, and debris all clumped together. But looking at them is pretty much useless. I mean, even with $1 million electron microscope, you can't actually see the genetic code that makes you you. So how do you read DNA?
DNA evidence.
DNA.
Your family secrets.
You are not
Diseases you haven't been diagnosed with yet.
Predicting or even diagnosing cancers.
The tiny quirks of what makes you you. But for the vast majority of human history, we have not been able to read it. It is completely illegible.
All of this might still be impossible today, if not for one man who took a lot of drugs and stumbled upon a discovery that unlocked DNA forever. Also, he was kind of a jerk. In the 1960s, as a biochemistry student at Berkeley, Kary Mullis wasn't interested in going to his classes. He was too busy taking LSD, and lots of it. Mullis didn't take university very seriously. His PhD dissertation was filled with jokes, and the committee refused to approve it until he, quote, cut all the wacko stuff out. But LSD fueled his eccentric genius, sparking all sorts of interesting ideas.
It did trickle into his science, so
Did you know that most scientists that find out, make breakthroughs in science, they say that they found the breakthrough in a dream, but in actual fact they were high, like Einstein was high as a kite. Yes, Lulu, remember that someone once said that saliva can help a sick plant. Shame, I can't do the same for sick minds. Do you want some saliva? Let me put it there. It's the wrong side there. So you can't heal others or plants with saliva. Sat, it's what? Sat, it ain't so. Say it ain't so. According to Leany, the safest thing in the world is not being able to gum watermelon to death, to swallow. Have you still got your gums? You don't have any teeth yet. Oh, you're supposed to put the teeth in immediately. Oh, hi, yo. Hey, Wheels, hey, according to Leany. Lionel, the only one who's high. And we're talking about stuff.
So, for example, he wrote a letter to the journal Nature, which chronicled the, quote, entire universe from the beginning to the end, and they published it, which is amazing. He was like 22 years old. They published that.
After graduating, Mullis just bummed around for a bit.
First, he gets a job in a cardiology lab, but he's
One
just
more
kind of so
month.
horrified
Oh my goodness.
at how many rats
You must
are
just get a
being killed.
mask.
So
A
he
COVID
starts
mask.
writing fiction. He gets a job in a bakery. One day he's working in this bakery, And this guy, Tom White, walks in, and it turns out Tom White works at this company. It's a biotech startup called Cetus. They sort of get to talking, and this guy offers Harry Mullis, he offers him a job.
White recommended Mullis to his higher-ups, saying, "Hire this guy Mullis. He's an excellent synthetic chemist. I knew he was a good chemist because he'd been synthesizing hallucinogenic drugs at Berkeley." Cetus was one of the first biotech companies in the world. It was founded in 1971, an exciting time when scientists were just starting to figure out how to manipulate DNA. One of the most important discoveries was actually made that year while researchers at Johns Hopkins were studying the bacteriophage.
Have you seen on Temu, then they sell those false teeth, or what do you call them, veneers? And then I saw somebody comment and says, yes, but those veneers don't fit in white man mouth. I wouldn't do it any other way. I would also have my dentures custom made. That's what we do here. You know, I must tell you something. We have, you've got the North and the South in America. We have the North and the South in my city, in my hometown. And so there's always the same attitude. The people from the South are a little bit different. Maybe the people in the South, they get the generic denture, but the people in the North, we get custom-made dentures.
The phage is a virus that hijacks bacteria by injecting its DNA into the cell.
Leanie,
the bacteria is
you
then forced to
vampires,
create
Leanie.
copies of the phage until it explodes. But the researchers realized that some bacteria evolved defenses that make them more resistant to the virus. Their defensive molecules would scan the phage DNA looking for a specific sequence. And when they found a match, they would cut the DNA, turning it into useless strings. Scientists called these little scissor molecules restriction enzymes, and different types of restriction enzymes cut DNA at different places. And they work on human DNA too. So the researchers extracted the enzymes to essentially create a toolbox of nanoscopic scissors that would allow them to cut DNA at will.
Oh my God.
Cetus was trying to use biotech like this to develop commercial DNA tests that hospitals could use to quickly diagnose diseases. But at the time, simple DNA tests like this were impossible. Say you want to detect sickle cell disease. I mean, you could
This
just
is
look
boring.
at the blood cells under a
This is
microscope.
boring. I thought we were going to talk about mushrooms. Has anybody not had mushrooms? And I'm not talking about the edible ones. I'm talking about the ones that make you high. Now, let's move on to some local news. This was the forbidden fighter jet. In South Africa, made the Cheetah.
Sure. It was binding on every member state, and it meant that no country on Earth could legally sell South Africa a single fighter jet, spare engine part, or missile. For most nations, that would have ended any hope of running a modern air force. For South Africa, it arrived at the worst possible moment. Just across the border in Angola, a different kind of air force was growing fast. Cuban pilots, backed by a steady pipeline of Soviet hardware, were flying MiG-21 and soon the far more dangerous MiG-23. The MiG-23 was a swing-wing interceptor built to outclimb, outrun, and outshoot almost anything else in Africa at the time. South Africa's own frontline.
And you know what? Our military building wing called Denau, or it was originally called Arms Corps, they built this jet on the model of the MiG, the Russian MiG. And during the highest reign of sanctions against South Africa. So with the modern days, with the democracy, America's, teaching fighter jet pilots, they ordered, I think, something like 18 of these jets recently to be built by South Africa and then to be shipped to America for fighter jet training. And I think South Africa built 2 or 3 and kept the rest of the money. They never They never gave the money back, and they never completed the order. This is called the Cheetah, designed by South Africa.
Fighter, the Mirage F1, had
Was a
already
Mirage.
proven it could hold its own against the older MiG-21. In 1981, Major Johan Rankin shot one down in a dogfight and did it again the following year. But the MiG-23 was a different animal entirely, and South African pilots knew it the hard way. In September 1987, a Mirage F1 flown by Captain Arthur Piercy came home damaged after tangling with a MiG-23 over southern Angola. It was a wake-up call. The gap between what South Africa had and what it needed was widening, and there was no supplier left to call. This is the part of the story people often skip past, because the machine that eventually resulted is so striking that the desperation behind it gets forgotten. South Africa was not choosing to build a new fighter out of ambition. It was being forced into a corner. Every neighboring war zone, every regional power play depended on air superiority, and South Africa's air force was aging out of relevance in real time. Buying new aircraft was not an option, not from France, not from Britain, not from anyone bound by the UN vote. Grounding the Air Force and hoping for the best was not an option either, not with Cuban-flown MiGs based a short flight from the border. So the country turned to what it already owned. Sitting in hangars across South Africa were dozens of Dassault Mirage 3s, an aircraft design that dated back to the late 1950s. On paper, these jets were relics. Slower, less agile, and carrying far weaker sensors than the MiG-23s they might have to face. But the airframes themselves were solid, proven in combat over 3 continents, and, crucially, they were sitting on South African soil where no embargo could touch them. The idea began to take shape. If you cannot buy a new fighter, you rebuild the one you already have until it is no longer the same aircraft. South Africa was not entirely unprepared for a moment like this. Years earlier, the government had established Armscor, a state arms procurement and manufacturing body built specifically to keep the military supplied no matter what the outside world decided. Armscor had already found ways around the embargo for smaller items, sourcing components through front companies, friendly middlemen, and countries willing to look the other way in exchange for quiet.
My mom's ex-husband worked for Armscor and worked in a division of Armscor which was related to ISIS, an Israel military wing of creating, and he was involved with the cluster bomb creation because the South Africans invented the cluster bomb, and he was also involved with the software where the satellites up in the stratosphere could actually zoom in on your car and see the number plate on your car. They could zoom in and actually look inside your room, and this was created by South Africans during apartheid.
Trade deals. But a fighter jet was a different order of problem.
Now we're just
entirely.
useless.
You cannot smuggle an air superiority aircraft through a shell company in a suitcase. Building one meant standing up an aerospace industry capable of matching what entire nations like France and the Soviet Union had spent decades developing,
Hey,
doing it with a
monsieur.
fraction of the population, a fraction of the
Good to see
budget,
you.
and none of the open trade relationships those countries relied on. This meant more than fresh paint and new missiles bolted on. It meant tearing a 1960s airframe down to nothing and re-engineering it from the inside out, using instruments, radar systems, and aerodynamic tricks that South Africa had no legal way of purchasing. It meant finding a partner willing to share hard-won secrets despite enormous political risk, and
So we
building
sold
an
it to
industrial base
Iran.
capable of turning those secrets into hardware without a single foreign technician being caught in the act. South Africa's answer to being cut off from the rest of the world was to become, almost overnight, one of the most self-sufficient defense industries on the planet. That story starts with a country that had walked this exact road once before.
So, now that you're all here, it looks like you're all enjoying the show. Please remember to hit the thumbs up. The question, now that you're here, Mission, I wanted to know, what's the difference between CBD oil and THC? What is the difference there? I still haven't even been to a hemp shop or a marijuana shop, a weed shop, and there's a brand new one up the road here. I could go and ask them the difference. but you got to go there with money. I call this meeting of Team Lyonese to order. Well done, Wheels. Tell me. CBD doesn't get you high, but how does it take the pain away then? So THC does make you high. I see. Okay. Time for a J. What you calling us to order for? Only THC gets you high. So they extract the THC from the CBD. What was it called when they're both together? But I think my weed doesn't get me high anymore. I don't get it. I don't smoke too hard. I have I make a joint and then I have 3 or 4 puffs, and then I start coughing too much and all the snot comes out of my nose, and there's just snot everywhere in my mouth and my nose. And then once I've had that coughing, sneezing fit, then I blow my nose and clean all out, all the airways, then I'm fine again. Then I think I'm a little bit high. Mission says, yes, but here in Australia, we get weed from the doctor. It is 30% THC, very strong. From the doctor? But why do you want to get high then? I don't know. Yeah, I've got some customers, because most of my customers have been through the wars, either pancreatic cancer or double knee and hip ops or shoulder spasms, whatever. And they do. So we get CBD from the supermarket. Okay, so you need the script from the doctor for the THC. I see. Which is better. Because I do have confirmation that it does work for most people, but you take a few drops at night, and I think that's just the CBD. It's not THC. But we've got weed shops that are selling weed. So then there's the 2 weeds that, what's her name? MJD was talking about. The one is strong, the one makes you sleep, and the other one wakes you up. Yeah. Wheels. Okay, I know it was a joke, but it's a very good joke. I assign you to be the sheriff of the court. Do you know in South Africa, our sheriff is the sheriff of the court. We don't have a sheriff of the town. So what the sheriff's job is in South Africa is, say you didn't pay for your house installments for 3 months, or then they send the sheriff to your house to go and speak to a judge in the magistrate court to find a deal. Our sheriffs are not like the American Old West, if you know what I mean. We get supermarket. Huh? 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 Can you hear me? Please hit that thumbs up. Thank you. I just did. 2. So which is better, Mission? THC or HPV? HPV. CBD is from the supermarket. Here, we still can't drive while under the influence of THC. Well, it's the same thing here. In South Africa, you're not allowed to drive. You can smoke it, but you must be indoors at home for medical use. You're not allowed to be driving while you're high. Definitely not. It's not permissible. Mission says, but Colgate toothpaste on your tongue will make the test read negative. No, Mission. Because weed stays in your blood. You can test it on your hair. That's what my stepbrother's wife's brother was in the RAF, the British military. I mean, he served in Iraq, and he came back from South Africa, and they took a strand of his hair and they tested it, and then I think he was given his walking papers. Hey, DJ, good to see you, young man. I hope you're well. Are you feeling better? Did somebody make you feel better today? Mission says it's an antacid, or our drug tests are done here by police. Okay, so it's just like a quick job. Blood or urine will still show, yes. It's just a lick test. Do you lick the cop? Do you lick the sheriff? And our drug tests are done here by police car, the side of the road with a lick test. And hair profile, blood or urine will still show the results, I'm sure. Oh, I hate it when I do that. I hate it when I do that. I must just stop smoking. Anyway, I just thought I'd quickly jump on. I'll see you guys later. Australia, is it morning there now? No? I always forget. You're 8 hours ahead of us. So it's the afternoon. Maybe I'll catch you with your midnight mission. I'll get some ideas of what to speak about through the day. Afternoon here, Lulu. So your Sunday's already done. That's the end of that. Dum da dum dum dum. Kui mission cold down your way. Still, bro. Been real cold here. Was because you're in a tropical area. It was 0 degrees Celsius last night. Mission says they give you a piece of plastic that looks like it has a string on it. You scrape your tongue, then hand it back. So just some Colgate, and you brush your teeth and your tongue, and the results will show on the strip, positive or negative. Mission Impossible says, freezing here, Lulu. Yes, this weekend has been a little bit cold, and you know what? I bought a little space heater because mine stopped working. The previous one stopped working eventually. And then I bought a new one. And then the other one in the house was the one that I swapped with because they were both acting wonky. But this new one is also acting wonky now. And I'm going to take it back because I'm so paranoid that because sometimes, you know, you fall asleep with the fucking heater on, and then I make sure it's off now for sure. You don't want the thing to explode while you're sleeping. But it definitely has been cold. So I've got the gas heater on now to just balance out that bite in the air. Lulu says, yeah, I mean, subtropical cold doesn't last long here. But the winter has been really icy for some reason. Yeah, I think we're going to have a scorcher of a summer, I must say. It's already been predicted. The El Nino effect. Yes, put the pea-size Colgate on your tongue, says Mission, and test will come back negative. Incredible. Wow, that's crazy, eh? Lulu says, my husband's biggest stoner my hubby is the biggest stoner I've ever known. No ways. What does he do for a living? He brushes his teeth, tongue, and gums before ever leaving the house. He has had 3 roadside tests, all negative for CBD and THC. So they test on purpose. Ooh, you people are all stoners in Australia. Hair or blood would say different. Yes, definitely. Yes. Because it lasts for a month. It lasts longer than, I think, crystal meth or cocaine. Cocaine, I think, lasts 24 hours in your system. Keep a travel-sized tube in your door handle, and then you swish, 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 swish. Lionel needs to watch RBT Australia. Is that the news station? I just don't want a left-wing news station. You guys are all left-wingers, you know, especially in Australia. You're only allowed to talk with left-wing stuff. The rest of it is all cancelled. Lulu says, oh yeah, cops do an RBT and drug test. Okay, THC lasts for months in your system. More than 30 days, really. Brushing your teeth, brushing your mouth out definitely works. Mission says people being busted, really, that's terrible. And do you have to pay a fine or you go to jail? Drink and driving. Yeah, driving under the influence. So that's really bad. RBT equals roadside breath test. RBT. Oh, I must use the wrong keyboard. RBT. BT Australia. Mission says, I know someone who has been on the show, Mission Possible, both fine and or jail. Okay. Lulu, loose of license instant for minimum of 3 months. Oh gosh. RBT Australia, you will have a laugh. Well, here we go. Which one? They're all very long. Otaku Anime. Aussie travel road cops, roadside cops, stops. A fleeing teen in an illegal vehicle. Why did you pull over here? Police run after driver avoiding breath test check. Oh,
Tonight on RBT.
I'll give anyone $100 to get on the money.
Yeah.
Have you consumed any illicit drugs recently?
I had a joint last night. Usually 3 or 4 beers, please. 6 or 8 beers.
Taking any drugs today?
Yesterday I had a little bit of cannabis. It's the worst fake name I've ever said. Bruce. That's worse. Richard.
My name's Richard.
Oh.
Turn it off, don't touch anything.
Test come back and he's gone positive to methamphetamine.
Oh, I'm going to get into trouble for this.
You know, these people have bum bags, usually sell gear. I want to truth, I got my belt. And like, it put more stuff in your pockets. Next thing I know, I'm some gangster from Brooklyn and New York with my pants saggy, and I don't want that. That's why the fanny pack.
And what is your occupation?
Oh, I'm a cobbler.
A cobbler?
A cobbler?
Yeah.
The way tonight's going, Anthony may wish he was in someone else's shoes.
Alrighty. This is the machine we're going to use.
Yes,
What
sir.
I'll get you to do. So take a deep breath in.
Got you.
Yeah.
Oh, come
and
on.
blow.
Just work.
Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Okay, stop. Beautiful. There we go.
Alright, I'll give anyone $100 to get it on the money. Anyone?
What about you?
Over 0.05, under 0.10.
Over 0.05?
Yeah.
For a P-plater, betting against yourself in a breath test might not be the smartest move.
Hey, Guardian.
As holiday traffic builds in Victoria, Senior Constable Jones dreams of holidays missed.
Had a trip planned to America. We're going to be stopping at Hawaii on the way back through the sunshine. That, of course, went out the window thanks to coronavirus.
Putting aside dreams of fun in the sun, they spot a bunch of mates leaving a pub car park.
Oh, it's like leaving the pub. The old bloke's driving. Do you think he's had a lot to drink? Should we check?
There's only one way to find out, so officers Jones and Robertson flagged the car down. Scott knocked back drinks with his mates before
It's
going
a
to help a
Holden.
friend move his spa pool.
What you up to today?
Oh, not much, mate. Just having a beer and we're just going to help a mate do something.
Yeah. How many beers have you had?
About 3 or 4.
3 or 4?
3 or
Over what
4.
time frame?
Never admit it.
Oh, okay.
3 or 4 beers is enough to put Scott right in the danger zone.
Just at the pub, were you?
Yeah, mate.
Got a car full?
Yeah, we're going to do the spa.
All right. How long since your last drink?
5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Sounds
5
like it's not
minutes.
just the car that might be loaded.
All right, Scott. The moment of truth. Hopefully, I wish you all the best, but
Oh, I've been 10 on this
Scott's plans to
machine.
move the spa could be down the gurgler.
I remember after almost losing my breath.
They're 4 stripes, you're
He
right.
hasn't lost his breath this time, but he could stand to lose his wheels. There's nothing quite like striking early.
When I was young, then, we always had Fords. But then you would get people who had a Ford and there would be fur on the dashboard and an orange on the aerial and fur on the backboard. There would just be fur everywhere in the Ford. And the people from the South, the Afrikaners, the Boers, they love the Ford. Everybody else does Toyota.
Officers in Melbourne's north are ready and waiting at the crack of dawn.
Just doing a random breath test and drug test. Get anything to drink or illicit drugs?
Last name.
Yeah. Right.
A father of 3 is pushing it to get to work on time.
What are you up to today?
Been a week.
Yeah. Time you start? 8 o'clock? Yeah. Try not to keep too much. Alright, so one long continuous breath out through the straw. Yeah, good, mate.
If this driver's had a big night, his morning could be toast even before his first cup of coffee.
Scheiße.
Yeah, all good, mate. Sorry.
His breath test is clear, but officers
I want to
are
see the
leaving no stone
marijuana.
So I'll just get you to do a oral fluid test as well. Do you have any illicit drugs today?
No.
No? No. Have you done one of these before? So you see the pink swabs?
Yep.
You're gonna take that, put that to the back of your tongue, get some saliva on it, and then bring it forward.
Oh,
Yep. Sweet, man. What do you do for work?
Labour.
Labour? Yeah.
In
Kind of labour.
certification.
Concreter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hard work, eh?
Best of yours.
Yeah.
If the concreter threw drugs into the mix, he could find himself stuck between a rock and a hard place. In Gippsland, a steady stream of summer traffic in the town of Sale has officers
Sale.
on high alert.
It's the holiday period. We are seeing quite a few drivers come through with high alcohol readings at the moment. Hopefully we see no one that's
Oh, a real Sunday meal,
24-year-old
Lulu.
Cody went to a drag race meeting with his family before heading home.
One long continuous breath into the straw. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Stop.
And Officer Malitsis is happy to deliver good news.
So your result of your preliminary breath test is negative.
Thank God for that.
Congratulations, Lulu.
We're in a backstreet lane, and we're
Wow.
here to keep
Married
people safe,
18
keep drunk
years.
drivers off the road.
Local tattoo artist Jordan is on his
You must
way
have a
home
happy
with his
marriage.
best mate in tow.
Hello,
Yes,
how
I
you
missed that.
going?
Sorry.
Who have we got here?
James Gunner.
Gunner. Is this that window open?
No,
Is that window open?
no, it's TV.
Oh, there you go. Anyway.
No.
All right, just testing for alcohol today. Have you had anything to drink?
No, I've had one can earlier on.
Okay. What can?
It was a Nelson.
For Jordan, drinking before driving could make for a dog's dinner.
My uncle gave it to me. I don't know
Okay.
what it was. Yeah,
How long ago?
half an hour ago.
Okay, it's one long breath
Oh,
to the straw,
shit.
please.
It's not in his
Keep going,
system
keep
yet.
going, keep going. Yeah. So you just have to keep blowing till I say stop,
So
like you're blowing a balloon.
A positive breath test, and there won't be anything
That's
to
a good thing,
celebrate.
hey,
Stop.
Lulu.
Perfect.
lungs are good.
Jordan just set up his own tattoo business. He'd rather be inking than sinking.
I've got a big future ahead of me.
Oh,
Yeah.
I don't
gosh.
want to be supplementing up.
Why don't they show it?
Officers Jones and Robertson pulled 46-year-old Scott over after seeing him leave the pub with 3 mates.
What you up to today?
Oh, not much, mate. Just having a beer.
Lulu says in Australia, if you've been involved in a serious accident, it's immediate for you to be taken to the hospital here and a blood test taken. Even if you weren't at fault, if there is drugs, you are at fault, as you shouldn't have been on the road to begin with. Australia is so over strict. Yeah, but I mean, people die, you know, from stupid mistakes. We have like, I think, 20,000 car accident deaths a year in South Africa, but mostly because the people don't even have a driver's license. And you just pay the cop $500 and he'll give you your license back. Everything's full of bribery here. It's a fucking bad country.
Beer, and we're just going to help a mate do something.
Yeah. How many beers have you had?
About 3 or 4.
3 or 4? Over what time frame?
The last 2.5 years.
3 to 4 beers could plunge Scott into the deep end.
We'll see how we go. Thank you.
Scott's plans to move a spa pool with his mates might hit a snag.
Alright, it's okay. So it's you're over halfway to the limit. So, but it is under 0.05, which is the good thing.
I thought it might be close. So
Scott is just 2 sips of beer short of blowing over.
Usually 3 or 4 beers means 6 or 8 beers. So I was a bit surprised that he only blew
Wow.
0.03.
So I made sure I put some solid food in my guts before I came up the road.
Yeah,
0.03 is nothing.
excellent. So
Brilliant.
you boys all under 0.05 too?
Yeah.
Business over driver.
Yeah, no, well, you're doing the right thing, so well done. You haven't
Enjoy,
obviously pushed it too hard at the
Lulu.
pub. Well done. Scott,
Congratulations.
drive safe. Good luck. Thanks, mate. See ya.
Under 0.05, thanks Nick Paul.
It looks like a Holden.
In central Melbourne, a car appears to pull up before the checkpoint.
How's it going, matey?
What's about?
What you pull over here for?
22-year-old aspiring cobbler Anthony claims he came to the rescue of a mate who was beaten up.
You know, I drove my friend home because he was passed out in the alleyway.
Sometimes gallantry doesn't get you anywhere,
Yeah.
and this is one cobbler walking a very fine line.
I drank 1 drink 3 hours ago. I ate once today. And I probably didn't eat enough because, you know,
Of all the crafters there are, the cobbler is the biggest liar of them all.
I have that carb gene. You know what I'm talking about, that carb gene.
Eating more carbs may have helped Anthony get out of a weighty problem.
Alrighty, this is the machine we're going to use.
Yes,
What I'll get you to do, take 1 deep breath, blow out continuously
Yes,
till
sir.
I say stop.
Right, hold it.
And blow. Keep going, 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 keep going. Okay, stop. That's it. Beautiful.
All right, I'll give anyone $100 to get it on the money.
Right. Yeah? What about you?
Over 0.05, under 0.10.
So 0.056.
0.056.
So you're over
Oh
0.05 as you
shit,
said.
it's just
That's all
over.
right. Under 10, or 0.05.
Yep.
So I was full license, I still would have been
You'd still be going.
knee deep. I understand.
Anthony may have won the bet, but he'll lose his license, and he's still playing the fall guy.
Is there anything further you wish to say in relation to the matter?
Weed.
The officers have been really good, very enjoyable. What's your name? Bruce.
He's
has
high
been
as
good
a
here.
kite.
It's the worst fake name ever said. Bruce. That's worse than Richard.
My name's Richard.
Oh.
Sticking his foot in it is the least of Anthony's worries.
Yeah, I've also got to do a.
Does he look like he's half
on you?
Aborigine?
See those two tabs there? Just scrape them down your tongue like licking a lollipop. That's it. There we go.
A positive drug test would be a double whammy. A hefty price to pay to help out a mate. In the Gippsland town of Sale, Officer Malitsis has found a new friend, Gunner, a hound belonging to 27-year-old tattoo artist Jordan.
Oh, he loves all the pets.
Jordan admits to having a drink before driving, but police can never be sure if one means more.
Nah, I've had one can earlier on.
Okay.
And Jordan is not even sure what the drink was.
My uncle gave it to me. I don't know what it was. Yeah,
How long ago?
I think half an hour ago.
Okay. One longer for you, please. Keep going. Keep going. Stop. Okay.
I'm really,
Jordan
really
doesn't
going
want to
now.
blow out. He's setting up a career as a tattoo artist and doesn't need a mark against his name.
The result of your preliminary breath test shows that you're very close to the limit.
Okay.
Under 0.05 today, so you don't have anything else to drink.
Jordan is sailing close to the wind, but he could hit rougher water with a drug test.
Also doing a drug test today. Have you consumed any illicit drugs recently?
I had a joint last night.
Okay. Drag these pink lines from the back tongue to the front.
Yeah, I'm a little bit nervous, like stressing out. Yeah, I don't want to be sucking anything up.
In Broadmeadows, a 43-year-old concrete labourer had an unexpected pit stop on his way to work.
Hey, Luke. Yeah, just running a bit late. I got some alcohol and some drug tests.
They're all high, these
Do you
Australians.
have any illicit
It's
drugs
all-
today?
I mean, is there a sober Australian up there besides
You
Mission
done one of these
and Lulu?
before? See the pink swabs?
Yep.
Yep.
With a family to ferry around and a job that relies on wheels, this is one hard-working
Wheels?
man banking on a clear outcome.
Hi, mate. So the tests come back that you've gone positive to methamphetamines.
For the 43-year-old, it's a shock.
Are you prepared to accompany me?
Yeah.
Yep. Alright, sweet, man. So we're just going to go into the bus, alright?
Instead of clocking on at work, the concreter's clocking in for a secondary drug test in the bus.
Yeah, it's gonna affect me big time.
What are you going to tell them? What?
She kept on warning me that this would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so she did warn you?
Yeah, I tell her everything.
Yeah.
I want like about
Yeah.
something that's gonna bite you in the ass.
Yeah. You have you messaged her yet saying you're here?
Nah, not yet.
You wait till later on?
Yeah, just
After the test?
like we did.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
Yeah.
If the driver's worried now, wait until he meets Officer Kenwary.
I'll let you get up first.
In Broadmeadows, this 43-year-old family man is in big trouble.
And who introduced the ice to you? Was it your mate? Or?
Yeah.
The concrete labourer tested positive for meth roadside.
You used a crack pipe, smoking it?
Yeah.
Yeah, not the best.
And the last thing he needs is 6 months
Not the
off
best.
the road.
Only
We're
6
basically
months. He
taking
should
a
go to
sample of
jail.
Saliva, okay?
He says he only dabbles in ice at parties.
Oh, you know it's highly addictive. Ice. It's very addictive.
Maybe, yeah. Think of it that way.
But the occasional user is just not facing up to the damage ice can do. Today's experience could prove the reality check he needs.
Okay. The result of the test shows you have methamphetamine or MDMA, a prescribed illicit drug in your oral fluid. People like yourself is that we're doing a lot more drug testing now.
Yeah.
The chances you get in court are a lot more.
And the 43-year-old, he's exhibit
Oh, really?
How are you going to get home?
Are you not sober?
You can call her now if you want.
No, maybe not.
Okay.
Just in case I get yelled at.
That's a nervous laugh.
Thoughts of just facing the music are sending this husband into a nervous tangle.
It's all fun when you're doing it, but when you're getting fights and stuff like that, it's not fun anymore. It's just not worth it.
I don't think. Come on.
In Sale, tattoo artist Jordan is awaiting the results of a drug test after admitting to smoking a joint.
Have you consumed any illicit drugs recently?
Nah.
No?
I had a joint last night. Yeah. I've got a back injury, so I was using CBD.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a few back injuries, and I tore my LCL.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's all good.
Yep, and then drag these pink lines from the back of your tongue to the front.
Wow, Mission. You lost your license at one point for 3 years. Not through substances. I lost it because I drove without ever obtaining a license multiple times. What do you mean? You drove without a license? Wow. I drove until I was 21. I only got my driver's license at the age of 21.
Jordan just opened his own tattoo shop.
I'm stressing out. I've got a big future ahead of me, and I don't want to be stuffing anything up.
A positive test now could leave a mark on his record that's harder to cover than a bad tattoo.
Alrighty, the result of your drug test was negative. Obviously, you mentioned that you smoked for.
Yeah, if it's CBD.
Okay, so it's for health reasons.
Yeah.
So you're feeling
Okay.
relieved now, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you weren't driving with your license. You better have your license on you. My license is expired. I've got to go and get a new one. I must do it this week. I got caught 3 times without a license. So the punishment was not have a license for 3 years. That's a long time, a very long time.
About to hit that dirty 30. It's getting a bit scary, but so I got to probably pick up my act a little bit.
Your license back today. Remember what I said, you're under 0.05, but go straight home and nothing else to drink tonight.
No worries.
Alright?
Right.
So he's fine.
My makeup beaten up, got passed on anyway, bruised face. That's why I unfortunately did the mistake that I drove him home.
22-year-old Anthony claims to have driven in the name of mateship.
And unfortunately, I don't know how he is right now. Hope he's alright. He didn't look like his teeth.
You never had the license to start with.
I looked at his mate and he didn't appear to be injured at all, and he hightailed out of here, quick spark.
To top his evening off, the Pete plater blew his license with a
So long as you can drive properly.
0.056, and his ordeal is not even close to being over.
Now we're also going to do a drug test on you. See those 2 tabs there? Just scrape them down your tongue like licking a lollipop.
If Anthony's fun night out also included drugs, all the fast talking in the world will get him nowhere.
Yeah, mate, the result of the drug test is fine, so there's no drugs in your system. It's all good.
Alright.
Anthony took a gamble driving.
I was right to drop him off around the corner, 1.6 k's away. But the risk outweighed the needs of my friend who got beaten up.
It's a mistake too many P-platers make.
The fact that he had an alcohol reading would indicate that that's why he was pulling over, I'm sure.
Alright.
He's walking home.
In Benalla, officers Verhoeven and Verdi.
He's walking home with his bottle of vodka. Okay, guys, I'm going to end this live. I thank you very much for joining. From America to Australia and South Africa, you too. You're very important to me too, even though I don't show it. So that was a long time ago. You lost your license that you never even had. Mission says you pass those lick tests with toothpaste, but don't they pick up the fluoride or something? And because it's an antacid, it eats the THC or meth of your tongue. Have a good one. Thank you very much. Be good. Life gets tougher, but we get smarter. Drive with a license and don't drink or smoke before. Life is mysterious, so don't be so serious. Ciao for now, tot ziens. Peace, shalom, salam alaikum, ek is lief vir jou. Ek liebe dich, sehr bonge, Riola Bochum. Remember, hit the thumbs up, comment as you see fit, and sharing is caring. Thank you for subscribing. Ciao for now. What was the other one? I forgot now. I forgot. There was the other one. Don't drink and drive, smoke and fly. Ciao for now, tot ziens. Let's get high. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Bye. Bye.